Me. I am a memoir. I said a memoir. The meaning of Mariah Carey.
Hello, Emily. Welcome back to Me. I Am a Memoir, the meaning of Mariah Carey. We have dispensed with the literature part of this podcast. We have read every last chapter. And now we are continuing with Mariah's milieu, her albums, because some of them just got a vague mention in the last couple of chapters. We did not get full album origins as we did for the 14 chapters of Emancipation of Mimi. And
she was like, these ones didn't do as well. So they don't pertain to the meaning of Mariah Carey.
Well, we got a bit about Touch My Body.
It was a number one.
It was a number one. We care about all of her albums and we are going to listen to them all. So this is a bonus podcast about E = MC squared, or as it was sort of titled for a while, The Emancipation of Mimi 2.
Was it really?
Well, that's where the E = MC squared comes from, because it was meant to be Emancipation 2.
Which does make me feel better, because I always thought the cover was so similar.
Yes.
I was like, why is it like, because I just had success with that, I'll do it again.
Well, it was
that's what was happening.
There was a lot left unsaid in her emancipating. And given the lyrical content of some of these songs, I feel we are still in a process of emancipation.
Yeah. There's some songs that I feel like I really caught onto the lyrics, and other ones that I probably didn't. So if I'm going through one and going, I hate this song, and you're like, oh, this is about Debrat's grandma, let me know.
Debrat's grandma is very front and center on this album.
She actually is.
All right. Well, we do. We have no Mimi moments. We just break it on down, and we don't have any of those other things in our lives anymore. We've got no gist. No.
I'm sure things will make the occasional. They'll pop up occasionally.
We'll have a gist come back at some point.
Yes, I'm sure there'll be Mimi moments at some stage.
Oh, there will be Mimi moments in the future, but I
know, no more Mariah-isms.
No more Mariah-isms. Well, funny you say that. There is a Mariah-ism on this album. There's so much to come.
Okay.
Let's just begin it with the breaking it of it down it.
Okay.
Breaking me on down.
So E = MC squared, released April 15th, 2008. I nearly wrote 1998 for some reason, because this Mariah, it's everything. She was only one.
Yeah.
But so it was US number 1 and an Australian number 2. What were we thinking?
Oh, I know what we were thinking.
What was number 1?
I can't remember. I think it was...
I thought there was a regular number 1.
No, I think there was some other local bit of business going on.
Oh, no. Not local artists. They're the worst.
I know. It happens.
All right. Into the first track, which is Migrate, feat. T-Pain, which was a first listen for me.
Oh.
Written by Mariah, Danger, T-Pain, and Believable Muhammad. Is that auto-tune I hear?
Is that? Yeah, it's absolutely auto-tune. But not on Mariah. Only
there
on the
is.
T-Pain.
No, there is. Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. I didn't catch that. So
only on T-Pain.
This is what's interesting, because I didn't know much of the T-Pain.
Yes.
I knew a lot of the T-Bag, but I saw, I can't remember the name of the show or what platform
T-Pain.
it was on, but he was interviewed for something. And basically was saying that everyone made fun of him for the autotune, but that's his thing.
That's his thing.
And I didn't know this. So now, thankfully, I saw that a couple of months ago. So going into this, I was like, it's okay, I get it. Because I think I would have hated it. But now that I know it's his thing and that he seems very nice, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And he was just taking Mariah along for that ride.
Yeah.
So I like on this that we are kind of getting something that we've not heard from Mariah. And there's even a sense of fun and sexiness, dare I say.
Mm-hmm.
But Danger, as a producer, are you aware of other Danger tracks?
No, I'm this was the period where I was at radio. So from this album...
Yes and no. You know all of the songs, but you don't want to know all of the songs.
Well, this album is like... Emancipation of Mimi was the last Mariah album I paid money for until Caution. Because they would just turn up on my desk. Sometimes 5 or 6 copies of them.
Oh, and then you sign them to yourself.
Because, like, you know, radio station, like, you get free stuff all the time, especially music, because it was a top 40 radio station. And, you know, everyone knew I loved Mariah. So my desk would just fill up with Mariah albums.
I love it.
Pre-release. Like, it was a glorious time. So, yeah, from here on in, these are all albums that I've probably got 4 or 5 copies of.
Oh, my God. I do love it.
Because when you sent me the list of, there's going to be these extras on it, I'm like, one of those was on my album.
Yeah, it was, what happens is you find out that, you know, England had one and Japan had another. And it's like, okay.
She shares it around. And then she does the digital release, which has all of them.
Yes.
It has all of the extras on. So,
and
yeah.
then a remix, and then that's problematic now, so don't put it on. But so the Danger, my first meeting of Danger was Britney's Gimme More, which is quite a track. But listening to this was giving me more Usher than Britney. I wouldn't have minded if they went, let's go a little Britney bitch on this.
Yeah.
But something
I do love a bit of Usher though. Like,
yeah, and I think the only reason I saw the difference was
in this period we played a lot of Usher at my radio.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the reason though is because Mariah has worked with Usher and done that sort of thing before. So I'm like, go full Britney. But with that said, re-listens worked well. I feel like this might become a pattern on this album where if a song maybe I wasn't sure about, but then I listened to it again, I was like, oh, I like this. What's this one? Oh, I didn't give that a good score before.
Oh. Do you know what I love about Migrate? Epic flex opening of an album. I'm gonna open this album with the whistle register. Just because I can, because I'm Mariah. I'm just going to go, just, you know, and you're all going to go, oh yeah, I did indeed buy a Mariah Carey album.
Yeah.
I got what I paid for up front.
I'm very excited about someone else doing a whistle register within this album.
No.
And it's not me. So, what score out of 5, or infinity, of course, would you give to Migrate feat. T-Pain?
Migrate with T-Pain. It's like, this is an infinity. Like, you know.
You're going there straight away.
Yeah. I wasn't mad for that weird vocoder business that I know it was T-Pain's thing, and then everyone did it. And, you know, my ears were full of it every morning in the radio.
Yeah, somehow I think this time maybe I just kind of finished school, so it was like VCE into, oh no, what am I going to do as an adult? So I don't remember a lot of this time. So I don't know of the T-Pain, even though I've heard of the T-Pain.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of T-Pain going around.
Yeah.
And so T-Pain. Yeah, like it's and it's such a flex to open an album like this. Like, it's just because you go like Touch My Body, huge #1 hit, and you're like, why doesn't it open with the #1 hit? And then you hear that opening, you're like, oh, I see why. And that,
you know
constant,
what? I like this.
And also bounce, like saying bounce and have it actually be almost onomatopoeia like that. It's bounce. You're like, oh yeah, the beat is...
We're bouncing.
Yeah, it's fun.
I am on my yoga ball.
It feels like a club song. Like, I feel like, you know, it just has the vibe of like, you know, like even the lyrics, like, you know, being Migrate. I just thought of all the millions of nights I went from one end of town to the other. Like,
I was hoping you'd name actual names, like, and just how sad it got.
From the Exchange to Three Faces, which then became the Market, to the Peel,
to Wet.
Oh,
to
that wasn't open.
One.
That wasn't open until I was much older.
So, what was I going to say? Yeah, no, I like when people put a different song first, because obviously you want the big hit somewhere in the early part of the album. But it's like, I like that flex of, oh, you didn't think that was the best song on the album. Like, you've got to introduce the album. It's its own thing, darling. So I've always been frustrated when people start with the big hit sometimes, because if they don't have any other big hits from the album, Why would I listen past that? Whereas if you have a couple up front, you're like, oh, those were good. Oh, now I'm at the hit. There's only 6 more to go. I'll do the whole album. So it's a manipulation that I enjoy.
Make it sound like a degustation dinner.
Got to think about these things.
There's 3 desserts. All right, I better have them all. I've drunk all the matched wine already.
Initial listen, I wasn't feeling it as much. Like I liked the essence of it, but I wasn't 100% sold on the production. But then going back and listening to it, and I already remember how it sounds, so I gave it a 4, and then I've bumped it up to 4.5.
Right.
Re-listen.
That is huge for you.
Huge for me.
That is massive.
But are you ready for the touching of thy body?
By the way, were you excited to see that there were no songs into the 4-minute mark?
Oh my God. There's so much to cover. I actually realized just now I didn't write an overall ending, but I still have things to say.
You have many things to say. We'll be fine. So Touch My Body.
Touch My Body. Written by Mariah, Crystal Johnson, The Dream, and Tricky.
The Dream.
US number 1, Australia number 17, which thankfully we only start counting at 17. So that means it's the number 1. And also the song that broke Elvis's record for most number 1s on the Billboard Hot 100. Just a little thing she likes to throw out there for everyone. So we do have a music video. So are you ready for a Poshnopses?
A Poshnopses. A Poshnopses. A touch my Poshnopses. I can't sing. Touch my Poshnopses. I forgot how to say Poshnopses. That
sounds incredibly horrific, and you should probably get it checked.
Touch my Poshnopses. Lay it on the floor.
Oh my God. So, Jack McBrayer from the 30 of the Rock, but also from CompuNerd, shows up at Mariah's door, squeals a whistle register moment.
God, it is so funny when he's doing Mariah to Mariah.
I know. And I just can't believe he got there. It's not the same as Mariah. It's more me. But still, well done. Yeah, so good. And so, of course, Mariah sexily shows him to her computer. And while we get intercuts of Billy from Glitter in her music video, that whole silver outfit, I was like, that's just from Glitter.
Yeah.
That's the video that Billy never got to finish.
Yeah. That's the one where she dropped the mic on the floor and walked out.
Yeah, she's like, bye. She just walked straight. Everyone's still there 10 years later. She just walked in and was like, all right, I'm ready.
I can do it now. Sorry, I'm a bit late.
Yeah. So Jack plays guitar while Mariah lounges.
Not even guitar. It's a Guitar Hero guitar.
That thing,
like it's a video game guitar.
It's a guitar to me. Mariah spanks him and they have a pillow fight.
Oh my God.
It's so cute. They go for a walk with Mariah's very real unicorn.
Yes.
And have some fridge noms before some fancy slot car racing and a gunfight. I was very proud of myself for knowing what a slot car is, because I used to work at the Grand Prix track and they had slot cars.
Right.
I don't know if that's the only name for them. I feel like there's others, but that's what it is in my head. A cute gunfight. All of this activity is exhausting, so thankfully they have an outside lounge before taking on some frisbee. Mariah thrusts at the top of the stairs while Jack crawls to her while lip syncing for his life. Jack then awakes from his daydream, when Smart Raya says fancy things and then lets him know security will let him out. But Jack and all of us know this was no daydream.
No,
this really happened. Mariah is magic. She got a little unicorn fairy dust and made him think it wasn't real, but we know it was real because why wouldn't you play frisbee when you're Mariah Carey?
Why
in
wouldn't
your
you?
backyard and wearing sexy
pillow fights,
Britney Spears, Baby One More Time outfits.
The only thing that puts paid to your idea that this isn't a dream is the outside in the daytime.
I think it's more that she lives in a huge studio.
Right.
And is in control of the lighting.
Because, you remember the Vogue video, which was like, again, that one's in the daytime. I don't know why people want to be there. Golden Globes? No. The daytime? No.
And I can't believe she did Precious without makeup in the daytime.
Oh, I know.
That's a lot. So first things first about Touch My Body is the epic Mariah lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is...
Lay me on the floor.
Wrestle me around.
There's
YouTube. There's Wendy Williams.
Oh, Wendy Williams. I kind of like the it sounds like it's a fun, sexy song, and then you're like, oh, if there's a camera up in here, what? What is going on?
Should best not catch this flick on YouTube.
Yes. It's really sassy. It's kind of like, I will hunt you down.
I know. It was really fun. I don't think I've got it here, but reading through some of the bits and pieces, one of the writers or the producers they were asked how Mariah goes about writing. And they were like, oh, we were, out somewhere. We were like at a little holiday destination and we'd throw things out. She'd throw things back. And it might have actually been Crystal. Did Crystal write this? Yeah, I think it was Crystal. And basically someone said who came up with the YouTube line and who came up with how I Will Hunt You Down. And Mariah came up with YouTube. Yeah. And Crystal came up with I Will Hunt You Down. And they said, I bet Mariah won't sing it. And Mariah's like, I'll show you. I will sing it. Absolutely. And it's another example of Mariah having a better second verse.
Yeah.
Like some people just kind of go, oh yeah, the second verse is just a continuation of the first verse. Great. Yeah. But she's like, no. I'm changing it totally, completely. Yeah. It's a different song.
I am ratcheting this up and we're going to get Wendy Williams on here. All up in your business like a Wendy interview.
This is private. Between you and I. Touch my body. Anyway, the thing that I do like...
It is such a great song. Like, it just jams in your head.
And such a great video too.
I know. It's just so much fun. I want to see Aretha singing it now.
Right? I reckon she'd lean in on the Hunt You Down and the Wendy bit.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine she'd like...
She's all up in my business.
But I do like that this song, while it follows Mariah the pattern of Mariah releasing an upbeat song first, it doesn't sound like any of her other songs.
No.
I'm like, no, this is Touch My Body. There's one that might come later from another album that reminds me of this, but it's not like we're going, it's Heartbreaker again. It's like, no, this is Touch My Body. It's its own thing.
It's got dings, which I love.
It does.
Which sets my sister's dog off. He can't stand a ding.
Oh, really? We're all talking about it.
Children on bikes with bells, send him crazy.
Oh my God.
Like, he's this
just children in general.
This giant dog cowering inside. I'm like, what's wrong with him? And Michelle's like, some little girl had a bell on her bike.
Oh my God, I love it. So I kind of stan, or no, it's not stan, what's the word? Where you want people to get together. I kind of want Mariah and Jack McBrayer to fall in love. I feel like Mariah would do well with, what's it called? Ship.
That's shipping.
I ship them.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like, obviously, Mariah is so fun.
Yes.
And this, even though it's heightened, it is showing off her
I think the problem here would be that Jack McBrayer is a daytime person.
Yes. He likes sunshine.
They just would be like ships, not in the night.
Yeah. And I mean, that'd be fun. It'd be like, maybe they've got 1 hour either side of the day.
Oh, yeah. They have a little dusk chat.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, let's set that up.
Okay.
Okay, so for this one, I think that, again, listening to it in the context of the album, I've enjoyed it more. But it is one of the ones that I kind of forget about of the big singles, because it's just got 18 number one, 19 number ones.
19.
18 at this point, but 19 number ones. And so it's like when there's that many number ones, it's easy to forget some.
But it's when you hear those dings, you're like, oh, that's right, Touch My Body.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. As soon as I hear it, I know it. It's just not, when I think of Mariah, it's not in that top sort of 10 of the ones that I'd throw out. But I did enjoy it.
It does have a great big vocal right in the wash up at the end. Like, she just kind of goes, she starts singing give me what I deserve, like, real loud.
She wants what she deserves, everyone. And that is proper lighting. So I have given this a 4.5, and then we'll see.
Oh, so it's in the same bracket as Migrate.
Yeah.
This, of course, is Touchfinity. Like, what else could it be, realistically?
Fair enough.
It's a justified number one banger. It's hot shit. This is hot shit.
All right. Next track, Cruise Control, feat. Damian Marley. First listen from me. Written by Mariah, Jonta Austin, Jermaine Dupri, Damian Marley, and Manuel Seal. Some familiar names, not faces, because I don't know what they look like.
It's got Jermaine all over it.
So this one feels very of the time. Like, I feel like this is the first time in Mariah's career that she's gone, okay, I'll try some celebratory candy.
I'll try some
Seems
celebratory
festive.
candy. I'll try some reggae, and I'll try spelling some words out.
Yes. Because that's what the kids are doing. So
What the kids are doing here in the bottom of the aughts. That's what's going on. We're spelling things reggae style.
But I think the one thing missing is it doesn't have Mariah's usual depth, at least not on the listens I've had. Am I missing a lyric, or is it just kind of a little fluff?
Yeah, you know what it feels like? It feels like a really solid album track trying to be a single.
Yeah, it's like I can do it.
I could be a
Touch
single.
my body. Touch my body.
It's like, no, you're after touch my body. You're not.
Cruise my control.
It's, I don't mind it. It's like it is a solid album track, but it feels like it's got pretensions to more.
Yeah, sure.
If that makes sense.
The other notes I have is the accent is a choice.
Yes.
Not one I'm sure she'd make now. I hope.
Oh no, she does do that frequently.
Even now?
Yeah. Did you not listen to the album?
But
to the
that's
book?
true, yeah. This was the one I noticed the most, though. That
Yeah.
might be slightly not okay. But yeah, what I wrote, and this is very me, is it's slightly predictable, but the short length saves it.
Yeah.
So it might have been slightly predictable, but I didn't have to predict it for too long.
Yes.
Which is a bonus in my book. And also,
But also, it's like, it's Mariah's gone, I'm going to try some reggae. Why not?
yeah.
How wouldn't I? I've got a Mali on
I'm
the
in the
single.
Moroccan room.
I've got a Mali. I've got, we can go full reggae. Why not?
But my favourite line from this is the 6 baby mamas line, which just seems very interesting now.
Oh, now. She was predicting the future in a way
Yeah.
she didn't know back then. Oh,
Yes, they were cruising all over the shop.
yeah.
So what is your score for this? With Control.
This is, look, it's fine. It's not amazing. It's a 4 at best.
I gave it a 4 too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on the 4s.
Yeah. Like, again,
on it.
it's she's great. It's just,
Obviously.
I don't know that I love Damien's work that much.
We'll have to do a podcast on him. That's our next. I am Damien. And it's not just him, it's Damien from The Omen or whatever it is.
Just a whole bunch of Damiens.
Damien, yeah. I went to school with one. We'll see what he's up to.
Yeah, I went to school with one.
Great.
Damien Wayne, who is Bruce Wayne's son in the comic books.
Oh God, help us all. So rest assured, plenty of episodes to come.
Damien podcast. It sounds like a podcast someone would do. We should sell our stupid podcast ideas to people.
Yeah, we should. We are stupid.
We'll get a job at Audible, just selling podcast ideas. One about Damien's, just anyone called Damien. And then the Smartcast, where all you want to do is watch Jean Smart's entire filmography
Yes!
from the beginning until the end. Everything she ever made,
That
which would
seems
take
like a very good idea.
80 years.
Bringing down the house is 6 months alone.
Yeah.
Like,
You've got to get through all the designing women before you get into anything.
that's very true. All right. Are we ready for the next track?
Yes.
Which is I Stay in Love, a first listen from me.
Ding, ding,
by
ding, ding, ding,
Mariah.
ding, 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 ding.
Brian Michael Cox. Adonis. This is one of my favourite names ever. Adonis Shropshire.
Heaven.
And Kendrick Dean. We have a music video.
Oh, yeah, we do.
And guess who it's directed by? Do you know?
Is it David LaChapelle?
It is Nick Cannon.
That
Wonderful director that we all know and love.
Oh, Nick.
Which is why
There's Nick all over this album, and his fingerprints are really mucky.
I found this out after I did the Poshnopses, but
Right.
it just makes me laugh that it kind of probably explains a lot of the video. Yeah. Mariah gets out of her car, and it's so sad about that it explodes. Mariah shows up 10 years early for her Vegas residency, and she is in full showgirl attire. Mariah attire.
Showgirl attire.
We get close-up shots of perfume décolletage.
Oh, yeah. The perfume was on sale at this time. This
she's
is
like,
a
and
commercial.
This is how I'm selling it. Mariah seems mad or sad, maybe. I think some guy she dated is banging other showgirls.
He is. He's making his way through the cast, I think, clearly.
Mariah angry walks and shoves him, then drives away in her car that just blew up. She flashes back to naked sex times. The car blows up again, and Mariah yells at the mountains, then hitchhikes to Aspen for Christmas.
Oh, and that was the Poshnopses. Poshnopses, a Poshnopses, a Nick Cannon, Poshnopses.
I thought you were going to say Plopshnopses.
Plopshnopses. I've got to stop inserting things in there because it derails me.
So the thing that made me laugh, so I understand that the blowing up of the car was meant to be a different time, but it's maybe because it's a first-time director that wasn't super clear to me that we were in different time zones.
No.
He needed to do the...
I'm having a memory.
I'm passing it now. Oh my God. Okay, so I will say with this one, I did feel that the melody and Mariah's vocal is much more present here.
Yes.
I think the production's like, I'm going to hang back here. It's a little bit out of the box, but it's not, it's like, but that's okay because Mariah's here. I can be out of the box because Mariah's doing anything. But I really like the chorus, which I think is how it zoomed up for me. It was like, you know what? No, it's all right. Don't worry. The out of the box production. It's I'm here.
Yeah.
I've got this.
I'm about to
chorus
you don't need to like do too much production on a bittersweet ballad from Mariah.
No. And for a fairly production heavy album, it is nice to have that.
It is really production heavy, this album, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And I think, and I'll get to it more at the end, but it threw me off in spots. Yeah. And then I'd listen again. I was like, wait, why do I now, why do I like this more or less now?
Yeah.
Oh, because I'm not hung up on that sound or whatever.
Look, I'm a sucker for a bittersweet ballad. And it feels like it's trying to recapture the magic of We Belong Together. Like
that happens a little bit on this.
It feels like it's like, oh, that was a massive hit. I'm going to have another crack. And she does go there vocally, but it's just a bit shy of how amazing that song is. Like that song is so big and so perfect.
Well, it's the third iteration now after... Don't forget about us.
Yeah.
She already copied it and got another number one.
So I've got to say the film clip just does not it vaguely fits with the lyrics.
Yeah.
But it just feels kind of weird. Like I don't understand.
I was surprised at how, it looks like some thought was put into the budget. If they're blowing up cars, that's not cheap.
Yeah, I know.
And yet there's another song on this album that was released earlier that doesn't have that treatment. I'm like, it's an interesting way of doing it, but okay. But I'm not mad at production value, darling. I love a video clip that tries to capture the design of the album. So, on the album, she's got the big feather boa. So it's like, well, we're trying to recapture that kind of a look. It's black and white. I do like a consistent look, darlings.
Because Touch My Body is nothing like, the design of the album. It's all kind of candy floss and unicorns. Whereas the album is kind of sedate and sensuous and, But yeah, I find it even more troubling now you told me it was her husband who directed it.
Now you'd be like, why is he blowing everything up 3 times? It's the same car, Nick.
Why did he cast his wife as a sad showgirl who's past it and has been passed over for some other younger bit of tat that's been working on the show probably for 3 minutes and she's been there for years.
I love this image of him going, well, I'm going to do a casting. And we'll see.
And we'll see how long our marriage lasts after that.
We'll call you.
Yeah.
All right, so for this one, I gave it a 4.5. I did quite enjoy it.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's not We Belong Together amazing, but it's not.
Well, that's infinity.
It's it's double infinity at the that's a DP infinity.
Yeah, triple.
So this is just a single infinity.
Okay,
I could only fit one infinity into the whole of this one.
Right. The hole's just that little bit tighter.
Yeah,
it's not a bad thing. No. All right. Now, onto one that has been stuck in my head, which is Side Effects.
How much does this jam in your head?
In my head. Young Cheesy, and it's the first listen from me. Written by Mariah, Young Cheesy, Crystal Johnson, and Scott Storch. Not Scott Gamblin from 90210, sadly. So this one, I was like, why is this familiar? Why is it? I'm like, because it's in the book.
It's in the book so much.
The lyrics and...
Yeah.
I feel like when I first listened to it, it was one that I feel like the first listen of this album, I was like, oh, it all sounds the same. But now I think the opposite. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh no, it does. I understand every different song. But I think that's because Mariah does that. Like she's like, I'm gonna give each song a hook that is different.
Yeah.
And that's how we're doing it.
Yeah.
So at first I wasn't sure. I didn't think it was bad production.
No.
It was just sort of from that era that, like I said, I didn't know that well, and is it too
Yeah.
samey? But the lyrics, I think, are what stay in there.
Yeah.
And then on repeat listens, I was like singing Side Effects. It's in my head now.
It jams right in.
Yeah.
And also, like, I love it's like this kind of urgent poppy song. And then you go, like, I've always loved the kind of weird peek behind the curtain of her life that you get in these lyrics. Like, but after having read the book, it's like, oh, this is really resonant. Like, you always kind of went, this song's about Tommy, quite clearly. Like, I know this song's about Tommy.
And I feel like probably since, because Butterfly was Butterfly and then Emancipation was Emancipation, people probably maybe didn't read into the other albums quite as hard. And so to find out, oh, that one's on that other album. Oh, that's on Rainbow. Like, oh, I thought she said everything. Oh, no. Yeah.
But also, you know, her personal songs on those albums have always been like, you know, like Vanishing or, you know, Looking In. And it's always something slow and, you know, there's not much production. Whereas this is like, no, this is an urgent kind of like, you know, imagine this had been a single. Like, I feel like this could have been a huge hit, but maybe she was like, maybe don't release that one. I don't want to hear that all the time.
I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see that. Oh my God, I love her so much.
Have you finished that series?
No.
Or did you just, you have to.
Oh, it's so cute.
Because the second one's better.
I know.
So good.
So yeah, lyrically feels like a ballad wrapped in pop production and
which I love
tempo.
that contrast.
It's
always
great.
have.
Yeah.
So
and I have been the same all week. I have had it like
it's
just going to the and it's like dan 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 dan. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I think the side of bed.
That's what has been nice with this album is as we're going along, I'm like, no, I do remember that one. Oh, I do remember that one. You know, like sometimes when there's 27 tracks, I get a little overwhelmed.
Yes.
Especially if they're 19 minutes long.
Yeah.
You just go, oh God. Whereas this doesn't seem to suffer from that, which I enjoy. So what is your score?
This gets Divorcefinity.
It was so funny because coming into it, I didn't know how you felt about these later albums. So I was like, it's either going to all be infinities or it's going to be like ones and threes and what's happening.
It goes up and down. Like, okay. But yeah, this is a song that, you know, at the time was like, oh yeah, I don't mind this one. This is a good one. But, you know, and because the lyrics were so kind of, ooh, she's really, you know,
she's mad.
She's saying it out loud now. Like she's
Ms. Carey put the chalk and the duster down.
The last album was The Emancipation, and now she feels emancipated enough to say all of this.
Yeah.
Which is why I feel like this, you know, this is like one of the songs where you go, oh, I see why this was meant to be Emancipation too. Because it's like, I'm now also emancipating myself from, you know, not being able to talk about these things in my work. And it's a really polished production. I really kind of like how poppy it is. Like
I just wish I could figure out what song it reminds me of. There's another one on here that I won't remember now, but I'm like, what is, I'll hear another song in my head and go, what is that?
Is it interpolating a song? Is it like,
I mean, it could be. Mariah loves an interpolation.
She does.
So this one didn't quite get as high as the others. It's a 4.25.
4.25. That's still really good.
It's still very good.
And plus the extra point because it's so resonant from the book. So it's clearly for you a double
infinity 0.25. So on to the next track, which is I'm That Chick. First Listen For Me, written by Mariah, John to Austin, Michael S. Erickson, and Tor E. Hermanson. That's right. And Rod Temperton. And also samples Off the Wall by Michael Jackson.
It does.
This one, I couldn't figure out what to score it when I first listened. And then I had to go back a few times. It gives me glitter vibes, which I very much enjoy.
Very disco-ified.
Very disco.
Well, I mean, Off the Wall was like the height of disco. Like that album came out, you know, there's some bangers on that album too.
I need
Off the
to
Wall in
get into
particular is great.
the Jackson discog.
Oh, yeah, I know it's hard because he's problematic in the extreme. But
I think if I throw in some, I'll throw in some Janet and then a little bit of Latoya.
Oh, Latoya. Don't
Bubbles.
Even. We start talking about Bubbles and the hat. We could be here
Remember
for months.
me, Bubbles? I'm sure I've. You remember me, don't you, Bubbles? Oh, Bubbles.
He's not
I
mad.
feel like
he's just bad.
she literally needs a show called Oh, Bubbles.
Oh, Bubbles. Oh, Latoya and Bubbles, a sitcom.
That's our next podcast. It's one of our ideas. We should be paid for our ideas. It's just insane. So, yeah, a little bit disco. I think the one thing the thing that held me back a little bit was just wishing the chorus was a little bit better, because I think it was all working for me, and then it was like, it just stays here. Okay.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing.
Also, because I feel like it's fighting with the bit from Off the Wall, because it's like, yeah. Like, because it feels like her song, the I'm That Chick You Like song, and then the Off the Wall bit kind of crashes into it, and I don't know that they entirely work amazingly well together. But yeah, I do like it when, it's essentially you get Mariah doing a cover, but she doesn't have to do the whole cover.
Yeah. It's like it's a cover, but it's more expensive because I had to interpolate because I have money. Bubbles. Oh, Bubbles.
Where's Bubbles? He's lost in your hat. Oh, I'll never find him. That's the size of Coburg.
She should dress him up. It'd be cute. But the thing that also helps with I'm That Chick is it's short.
Yeah.
So, it's just, I think I just wrote that it's not bad. It's just a little safe in that chorus.
Yeah.
But it's another song that did grow on re-listen. So I've done a double DP of 4.25.
Oh, yeah. This is, for me, it's like, I think it's just outside infinity. Like, I think it's a 5, not quite infinity.
It's shown its passport, but it's not been stamped.
Yeah. It's in the queue, but I don't know. I'm not letting it in.
I know this is weird, but it's sort of, I literally think I like the phrase I'm that chick. Like, I get what it is, but it is weird because Mariah's such a lady.
I know.
And she's a goddess that it's like,
but she can play many characters.
Maybe that's how I have to think about it. It's because I did say it's very
she's probably
glitter.
singing it in Bianca's voice.
I was thinking it's glitter, so it's Billy.
Yeah, it's Billy.
And so I'm like, she was playing a character, and Billy is that chick.
Billy is that chick you like.
I can probably get on board with it. So, Love Story. First listen written by Mariah, Jonta Austin, JD, Jamash, and Manuel Seal. There's a music video.
There is a music video.
Well, sorry, I should say it like this. There's a music video.
Are you ready for a Poshnopses? A Poshnopses. Another Nick Cannon Poshnopses.
The words, "This is the love story of Nick and Mariah," scroll across the screen like a PowerPoint presentation.
Oh, it's not even that good.
It's not even that good.
Not as good as the PowerPoint presentation at that Jedward concert.
Nothing's that good. I guess their love story is all about them in spas, on planes, and having a splash.
Yeah.
Brat's there as a reminder that this is all her fault. Mariah doesn't know this music video.
Mariah does not know this music video because she claimed he was in another one.
Yeah.
I mean, he is, and it's clips from this one.
I know, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was like, even at the end where it's like, happy anniversary, Nick and Mariah, I'm like, oh, she didn't know about this.
She didn't know about this.
Like, even though she filmed it, but she didn't know about it. She certainly
like,
doesn't know it.
It's official because it's on her YouTube page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It came up.
It's
and
weird.
then the song itself, like I just wrote, it's fine, a little bit generic, but it's got all the things you want from a Mariah track. So it's not like, oh my God, this is horrible. It's just a bit like, oh yeah, I've heard this. That's
and also
fine.
after, we've done how many songs have we done up to this point? Like
8, something like that.
No, I mean,
in the whole
career.
genre.
Yeah. So it's like, they're all good. It's just, you start to go, the amazing ones start to edge out the prosaic ones.
Yeah.
like it's not terrible. It feels like the most prosaic song on the album, I've got to say. Like I find it weird that they made a video clip for it.
I know, and it's
Like,
not like I don't sit
obviously
here
it
and
wasn't
think, oh, this is hideous. But
Yeah.
it's just, oh yeah, this is fine. So I've gone with a 4.
Yeah. Look, I want more from it, like because it kind of like it meanders along. Like it's just like
Thankfully it's not too long. So.
No, but it's got the title for like, oh, it's called Love Story. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a love story, and it just kind of meanders along, and it gets big, but then it ends. Like you don't get enough big Mariah.
Yeah.
And the film clip, too much Nick Cannon and
and PowerPoint.
Was this the one with the tattoo where he's getting the tattoo at the end?
I think so. But again, it wasn't even enough of that to really bother writing it down.
And I was like, oh my God, did he get a Mariah? I forgot he had a Mariah tattoo, like his whole back. And now it's a giant Jesus.
Ugh. I mean, well, she is Jesus.
Yeah.
To us. So kind of makes sense. So what's your score for the loving of the story?
Look, this is getting a 3.5.
Ooh.
It's just,
I don't know why I'm a ghost.
It's just fine.
The ghost of the dead love story that never got to live.
It just feels like it's almost a good song.
Yeah,
like I feel like potentially this was an amazing song, and it just never quite.
It just forgot. It's like,
never
oh no, I forgot to show up. Shit.
Like
I hope I still make the album.
You know, like Always Be My Baby is similarly quite simple in its construction, and just soars. Like it just has like a purity, but this one
it has a decent video clip.
Yeah, whereas this feels like it's just it just kind of rests on its laurel. Yeah. And it only has one.
That's the one.
And you just go I feel like at this point in Mariah's career, I'm like, you can do better. I know I've heard better.
Yeah.
And this is,
especially considering she's been pretty consistent.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And also I feel like, you know how you say you said there are a few songs in this album that sound the same. Mm-hmm. This is the song they all sound like, and this is the worst version of them.
Yeah, sure. I'm trying to think what the album was that I really felt that on. Might have been Rainbow.
Oh no, I think it was Charm Bracelet.
Charm Bracelet. They were all 7 minutes long.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. It probably was. I think there was a couple on Emancipation, but we got through them, you know, because they were still the better version.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. I'll Be Loving You Long Time.
Loving You Long Time.
First listen. Written by Mariah, DJ Toop, I guess, Crystal Johnson, Clifford Johnson. Oh, a little couple. I don't know, a little DP of Johnson. Mark DeBarge and Edeline Jordan, or Edeline, sampling Stay With Me by DeBarge. Yeah. Now, I was so excited because I knew of the DeBarge and I knew of the El DeBarge, and I now know of the Mark DeBarge, and I just found out about the Jason
Janet was married to a DeBarge, wasn't she?
I think it was Jason. Yeah. But yeah, that was in the Janet documentary. So we're all about the DeBarges right now.
DeBarge was actually a thing when I was a kid. Like, they were a popular thing.
And the mullet. It's all happening.
Oh, yeah. It was mullet. What was their big song? I don't remember.
Rhythm of the Night.
Oh. Yeah. To the beat of the...
Yeah. Because everyone thinks it's Gloria Estefan and the soundy system.
Yeah, I remember the DeBarge. Big time.
This song was a US number 58. What was everybody thinking? What was the entire United States of America thinking?
What were they thinking?
But we do have a music video.
A Poshnopses. A Poshnopses. T.I. Poshnopses.
So yes, the video does feature, it's a little remix moment with T.I.
Yeah, because it's not really a remix. It's just T.I.
He just stapled himself onto it.
He's not on the album, but here he is in the single.
I was like, okay.
Yeah. And it's not mentioned that it's now featuring T.I. It's just like he's on the single, but it's like, oh yeah, it's still the same song. He just...
Oh, T.I.'s here.
He forgot to do his bit when we were doing the album.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think there might be some baggage with T.I. Don't know. Not sure. So Mariah poses somewhere tropical. She wears a bikini near rocks. And this might actually be the best she's ever looked.
Yes, she looks amazing.
Like, I nearly said
when she was living in Farrah's house, because she's clearly moved into her hair right here.
Yeah. I nearly said it for Touch My Body, but I think this is the best she's ever looked. Yeah. We get some Mariah-ography which is just her 3 moves.
Yeah.
T.I. raps, Mariah splashes around, and there's a dolphin moment.
A dolphin moment.
So what I love that it's clearly got a budget, but then they were like, oh, we forgot what the story is. That doesn't matter. I'll just splash.
Splash.
It's fine. There's a dolphin. I'll write it.
It's a dolphin.
Yeah, no, whatever she was doing, I was like, what I love is, coming back from Charm Bracelet, you're growing up, you're looking different, the buzzies are on display, it's all happening.
The hair is flick, 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 flick.
Yes, you can normally, though, tell a difference between a photo of Mariah in 1997 versus Mariah in 2003.
Yeah.
But here, I'm like, oh, no, I would say, that's 90s Mariah.
Yeah.
Like, she got it. She got it. Whatever it is, she got it.
She looks amazing.
So, I was, and how nice, like, this far into your career to be, like, banging, looking that bloody good in a bikini. So, slightly problematic title.
Yes.
Noted. But it does, I think this song feels a little bit more Mariah than some of the other tracks on here. And I think it's the best production so far.
Yeah, and it's it's a boppy song. It's got a couple of big Mariah moments, which is what we want.
And everything kind of fits where it should.
Yeah, and
like
at the end of the song,
I trust it.
Because there's a lot of vocal layering. Like at the end of the song, it really does feel like you're surrounded by Mariahs. And I'm like, I could not want to be anywhere.
It's a circle jerk of Mariah. and I am
the biscuit.
The biscuit. The willing biscuit. God.
What is wrong with me? Take it to that place.
I don't
You're
know.
just the wrongest person to ever live.
Because it would be I just want to turn everything into something fabulous. And that would
don't know that that's fabulous. Anyway, it is amazing being surrounded by Mariah. And the video, sometimes you see they've inserted a rapper into a song that didn't have one on an album.
Yeah.
And you're like, this feels like it's been shoehorned in and does not, like... T.I. in this, I'm like, I wouldn't even know that he wasn't on the album. Like,
sure.
The first time I saw it, I was like, yeah, I like this song. And I'm like, when I went back to the album, I'm like, oh, he's not on here. Yeah. I thought he was always there. Yeah. Like, it's quite seamlessly done.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like sometimes people do it as a surprise. Maybe it was always there and they're like, no, we'll do the other one first.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I know that there's a certain Miss Minogue who said, I don't like that ludicrous verse. Take it off. Oh. And then it was on Chocolate. They accidentally left him at the beginning. Oh. So you can hear him talking. Then he never raps.
Oh, dear. Poor
but, which, I mean, it kind of, makes sense. That's not her vibe. It wouldn't have made sense. But what I like about this song is it feels like it's a hit even though it really wasn't. Like, I'm like, why wasn't this a hit? I feel like this really would have done really well. I think she sounds great. She looks great. Like, what's the problem, everybody? Except for the problematic title.
I find T.I. horrifically attractive, like, in this video. Like, it's...
I just think I couldn't look at anyone but Mariah.
Well, yes, I know. I could see that you've completely turned and gone...
Yeah,
Mariah.
I'm now heterosexual. I mean, I just said I'd be in a Mariah, a circle jerk of Mariah. So, what? Okay, to the scoring.
He's in the Ant-Man movies. T.I.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, I gave this one a 4.5. It's matching with my other faves so far. What is your Mariah T.I. sexy score?
This gets, without T.I., it gets infinity. So with T.I., it's in T-finity.
Okay. I don't know who I am anymore.
All right, we're almost home. Well, we're not because we're only halfway through the album. Yes. We've got heaps more to go, plus some bonus tracks, including a non-Mariah track to come. So we'll continue listening to Mariah's E = MC², the emancipation of E Me2.
To the power of infinity.
Yes, to the power of infinity. That's next Mariah Monday. Don't forget, if you have any opinions on our scores and you hate them, you can give us a score. On iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. And we would love to hear from you. I am a memoir at Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. And also you can send us an email. I am a memoir at gmail.com. All right.
You can send Alyssa Milano mugs.
Oh, and yeah. Posh wants an Alyssa Milano mug for some reason.
You got a Jesus manga?
I know, and it's beautiful. I love it.
So why wouldn't I?
All right. We'll be here with more Mariah next Monday. Bye, Lamely.
Bye.